friend, it's Pat Sloan here. Just as I got ready to film this, it just went totally dark. It's going to rain. Like, oh, it's so exciting, right? So, how are you doing here on Tackle It Tuesday? So I have a bunch of different things, and you want to wait till the end because I also have a mini tour, another little mini tour where I changed out a few things, and I went through the process of how I was looking at what I was going to display color-wise and how it sort of worked together. So you might find that interesting. So on Tackle It Tuesday, the list, I need to rethink how I do my list because this week the list that I had, it was too broad, like the 100 blocks, which I did work on, the mini muffin, which I did work on, the cross stitch, which I did work on, but there was no completion on here. I wanna mark it off. I wanna cross off something. Almost got the lucky stars. I am close. I'm working on that last little section of the rainbow, and then I have to make it into a little quilt, so there we go. And the Block Wednesday sashing, nothing got done there. I am still, that and the binding. I made the binding. So so here's the sashing. So the binding for the quilt, the turquoise and black quilt, I made the binding. Let me show you that. Looking at black for binding, I don't want these big polka dots because I have the big, this light grayish look. The big black polka dot just doesn't look good on there. Even a small polka dot, there is one down in there. It's a little bit smaller scale, but there's not enough of it. This one here is too dusty. It's not the kind of clear black that everything else is. It's a little too dusty. So that leaves me going over here, which I don't really have a lot of large pieces, but I do have plenty of this, which has some lines. I think this will be perfect. The black is perfect because it is not too dusty. And then I think the lines will be cool because they're not going to be they'll just be every so often. So it'll be more of a solid binding. And I think that'll be perfect. And I have plenty of it. And it is sitting over on the table, along with one of the quilts that came back from being long-armed. So that's going to be high on the priority list. High next, like next. Let's see, let me tell you that it is zipper day. So if you have a project with zippers, I did work on the 100 blocks. And I show you how I went through a little bit of the process with getting some blocks done, and I sewed all them up. So let's look at the process first. 3 blocks cut, but I'm deciding over here. Here's the little frogs with the dots, and there's slightly different fabrics than what I showed the other day. The kitty, that's so cute. So this is normally like 2 pieces for that block. And then I'm going with the corn because my family loves sweet corn, except for my brother. So yeah, one brother doesn't like it. But I'm debating on this light here. I think I like it. I'm not sure whether I don't like that or don't want that one. I think what I might do is switch this to something else, although I really like that fabric and I want to use it somewhere, but I think maybe it's not for this block. So I don't know, I could do another piece of this fabric with one of the other images. Let me try that. That's better. And there's, this goes right to the side. There is a little bit green over there. So just bring this other leaf out on that one. Decide to go ahead and cut another one. I like the way the structure is on this in the picture where, no, that's not it. Here it is. Here it is, where it's the same fabric. Now, of course, this particular fabric had these cute little birds. But I wanted to use this kind of a tie-dye effect. And so that's what I did. And I had to pull a darker green to really make it work well. Like it's a little bit like more Christmassy green than olive green. Then I got to thinking, I knew it, honestly, as soon as I laid this was just not the right fabric. So I cut new fabric for that because I'm only at I'm not even sewing yet, so I might as well change it. Here we go. Here we go. Much, 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 much better. Now I've got five blocks to sew. All right, does this happen to you? These actually are directional. Can you see, like, more of the flowers go up on here? And I put this one upside down. You see the flowers go down. And I know if I pull back, I'm barely going to notice it, but I still know it's there. So I'm going to have to pull that off. Just going to have to do it. Look how fabulous they are. This was so fun. I may have changed a few fabrics out again just as I was working with it, but I am so happy to get that many more done. So now I have to go through and pull my green fabrics again from, kind of the like novelty type green fabrics, like the horse, those type of, the kitty, and get a few more cuts so that I'm ready to go. And the mini muffins, I got everything cut, but I didn't put too many blocks together. I was actually doing these, so these kind of took over from the mini muffin, but I think I will get a few more of the mini muffin made this week. The 4 that I have already grouped, I'm going to check them, but I think they have maybe more duplicates than I want. Like, I don't want as many with 2 of these, like that packet has. So that would be like block number 2. So I have 2 more blocks to get out of, these things are already cut. I need to add some to it. We're going to put those. You can see them up here, right? So we got some here. So I went to the pinks. And look, I forgot I had more of this plaid. It's from the collection. And I had, of course, I said I had the strawberries. I knew I had a ton of the strawberries. The little dot, there were a few dots in there. Here it is. I still had more of this dot, so I can do that. So that's great. Those are all the same. Then I found, which I totally forgot, and I knew I had the plaid because that was not the line. And I had more of these too, which I remember now. I did buy some extras of the fabric to do the March block, more than what was in the fat quarter bundle, because I wasn't sure I'd have enough. So that's great. I have a ton of these, so I didn't need any more of those. But I thought, well, what else do I still have that would work with these shades? The line is called Periwinkle, and the shade of Periwinkle is kind of an interesting blue, because it is not a regular light blue. Like this is the line as well. If you get it it's got a little bit more purple in it, the Periwinkle. So I found this, which is not wonderful, but it's okay. I could be okay with that. I also found this guy, which actually is a little bit more purpley, but you can see when they're next to each other, I mean, they are not the same shade of blue, but I think in the mix they could be, but I may not need it. I may just stay with what I had. But if I went lighter, that worked. So I could go fairly light, and this one has some beachy elements on it, so I thought this might be cute. I think I do want to add that piece onto the stack. Add those guys. And then here was another one where it's not the same blue, but because it's super light and with some white in it, it does work. But because I have, I think, enough of these, I won't need that one. So I'll put that one back. So what I will have to do is figure out what I have here of these, figure out what I need for 2 more blocks, and then cut more 2.5-inch squares for the mini muffins. I decided to undo the bundles I already had because there was duplicates in them, and I could really use the duplicates to spread out rather than cut more, because I was going to not put the duplicates in the block anyway. So I need 12 more of these. And some of these have duplicates, and I'm okay with that. They're already made. I also decided I really needed to put in these blues that I pulled, because it'll give me a bit more blue variety. I don't want it to be so heavy on the pinks. So that's where I'm going to go. Like these all have, well, that one has 3 pinks, 2 pinks, 2, and 1. So I want to keep it away from that one with the 3 pinks. Either 1 or 2 pinks in it. So that means I needed some more blues. And I don't want to do the spools. The spools are just, they just have a different vibe. I want something more beachy stuff. And this is like waves, even though it's not kind of the same blue. It actually goes really well with the plaid. And because it'll just be scattered around. I think it's going to look really good. The plaids look really good in there, don't they? Look at them. So that's where I'm at. I'll cut these up. I will make little piles, and then I will pull 9, one from each pile until I have 9 units together to make 12 more of those. Oh my gosh, I kept thinking, why does it feel so dark? I had a whole bank of lights that were off. Oh my gosh. All right, so the mini muffins, as you just saw, I forgot to segue there. That I had to show you something. Okay, now I have the calendar. I'm all over the place, aren't I? All over the place. But that's the way I think Tackle It Tuesday is for me, filming, because I film sort of as I'm working on things all during the week, and then this is my day to kind of recap and kind of clean up some of the things, like get them tidy, get them finished up, maybe to another stopping point, whatever. But that's how I work for Tackle It Tuesday. I have the May calendar. Yes, remember the May calendar has 2 parts. This is, the actual days and things that are going on. And then I have the project page behind it. So for May, one of the things is for Tiny Secrets, which is my fabric line that is getting to the stores. I'm waiting for kits to be available so that we can do the first project for Tiny Secrets. There'll be 3 projects. The first big star from the half yard book, which has a kit, and then we'll do the mushrooms, which there's no kit, and then we will do the parfait kit third. So they're going to go, I'm not going to be crazy and try to do any of them at the same time. I've done that in the past, and I'm done with that. We're going to just go single file one to the next, and that'll keep it all. So if you enjoyed, you want to make 2 of those, or if you want to make all of them, but maybe use different fabrics. You don't use my fabric, but I'll be having them all in my fabric. And so Tiny Secrets, I don't really have, I put a date, but it's at the end of the month. I just put the end of the month because hopefully the kits will be soon, and then you can order them and get them in and that kind of stuff. So I'll have the links to that in the description box here and at the pinned comment, and there's a project page at my I Love to Make Quilts. So if you've not been to I Love to Make Quilts yet, that's where you're going to go to download this. You can either do it from the calendar page, which you have to do today, or tomorrow's article. I'll have it in the article. And that is the one new thing for this month. Oh, no. Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish is also coming. So I'm using Tiny Secrets for Make-A-Wish, and that is May 2nd, is when the patterns come out, unless you bought the kit. So if you bought the kit, you got the patterns with the kits. You might see people showing that. So you want to take a look at this and get up to date on everything. It's right? You want to keep up to date. It helps me. I started doing this calendar because it helps me keep track of what I'm working on and what I'm sharing here on the videos. And if you want to be more productive, start a YouTube channel and videotape everything you're doing, because then even if it's just for you, it makes you accountable. You're like, I had to do a video today. What the heck did I get done? What the heck am I working on? Oh, goodness. All right, so what else do I have? I don't want to miss anything. All right, so we have coming up on May 10th is Jolly Bar Day. Hold on, let me get the book. Jolly Bars are a pre-cut that is exclusive to the Fat Quarter Shop. So the Fat Quarter Shop produces these. They only do them for a few lines each, quarter, whenever they do it. So there's not like for every single line. Like you won't find it for my fabrics. They just do it for a select number of fabrics. It is half of a layer cake. And they also, this is book number 5. They do this fabulous books. Plus they also give you patterns that come free with the Jolly Bar. So you can do that. And anything that's, like half of a layer cake, basically you could use these. You could also use them for charm pack quilts. You can cut them in half. But we're going to do, first of all, May 10th is Fat Quarter Shop announced is the first ever ongoing Jolly Bar Day. So if you want to sew on a Jolly Bar on May 10th, be sure you pick one up. And then we will be doing a sampler with them based on this book. So they run a sampler, and I've done it for all the years they've had them. And it's really fun because you get to make a lot of the blocks from here and do a sampler quilt. and play around with the fabrics. Of course, you can make them without a Jolly bar. You just cut your own sizes, but they are really fun and efficient, and they do make it amazing to actually give you the free patterns with it, besides additional awesome ones in their books, which are super reasonable. So anyways, that is coming up. Okay, the little mini tour. And it's not just the tour. I've got a walkthrough of my thoughts about how I'm putting things together. Let's take a look. I'm going to make just a few changes. I'm going to switch this one out for May. I have already switched the purple here, and I wanted to enjoy this one. Not sure that that's what I want there right now, but I wanted to enjoy it since it just got the binding on it. I used to have a yellow runner because I'm thinking pink, yellow. There's pink and yellow. There's a lot of yellow, green. I'm going to switch out this to yellow, but I don't have the yellow one anymore because I did, move things off. If it is, I can't find it, which means I still have too much stuff. But what I'm going to do is switch this. Just take a look. Take a look at how it feels. But it's more like it's just these three pieces. How do these three pieces and kind of the accent work? And then I'm going to go get some of my bee things, which are yellow, to put here. Looking at yellow, I really enjoy putting a polka dot, but this is not enough. There's not enough polka dot here. I need like a half a yard piece. But here's something with bees, which is super cute. There's also the gingham. I was looking for something, kind of the brighter yellow. And there's lots of stuff. Like I have extras of that butterfly, but that's light. I just want it to feel like I don't want the mustardy colors. So I think I'm going to try the bees because they're super cute. I don't think that one is enough. It might be enough, but I think the bees are plenty. So let's try the bees. I think there's also enough of this one that could go around there. All right, gonna try these. There I'm trying the yellow. That's with the bees. This one, I believe, will look too much like a solid when I would put it there. So you can just see here the difference. It looks like a solid. This does give a little bit of texture. That's why I like those big polka dots like this, because they have, these are big polka dots. So that means from a distance, I can actually see the print. So I'm going to look for a big yellow fabric, a version of this. I'm going to look for a version of this in yellow, which is probably not that popular, but you never know. Switching out to a much lighter piece, which has less going on. I love that. This is too big. Like I've got it folded under like quite a bit here, like one whole row of those, and border is tucked behind, which is okay. I don't mind that, but I have this, which is a panel, and I'm going to try that. The other thing is for the table runner, which I have this guy, which has more yellow in it, no pinks, but I think I'm just going to leave the green because otherwise I've got to take all that stuff just for this. I don't think the impact is big enough for the effort. That's my thought process. Let me switch this out to the Paris panel. I'm going to leave that up there for now. It's not as wide. I really like it when it covers that area, but of course I didn't make things just to fit that area. This actually fits a different area of my home perfectly, but I might just leave it up there. It still has that lightness because it's got a lot of white. It's got some yellow in it. I'm going to go get my bee things, and then we'll do a final of this. And I put something different on the front door. We'll start here. I switched out to this, and I know that's kind of a Christmassy phrase, but I don't know. I like it. Be happy with simple pleasures and have courage when things go wrong. This was a panel, and the pattern I think is still available. If it is, I think it's a PDF now, so you could put any kind of panel or a big piece of fabric in there. And this is the one where I did the tiny, tight matchstick quilting. So, and it lays super flat. It's really fun. Okay, so here is the little mini makeover. Let me see if I get a little additional light on the, it's overcast today, which, that's just the way it is. Got Miss Ginger growing like crazy. I did not switch that out because I just don't think it's worth the time or the effort. And I didn't really do much over here except for take the bunnies away. I left everything pretty much. So my bee things, I have a few little signs. I have this gorgeous, gorgeous beehive painted on velvet. I bought this many, many years ago. Isn't that beautiful? And there was all the info if that person is still around. So sweet. And this was a gift. I've got Alice in Wonderland on my mind since now she is in the Disney Dreamlight Valley. So fun to have Alice in the Valley. If you're a gamer and you play Disney Dreamlight Valley, let me know in the comments. And then I went ahead and left Paris up there. Even though I kind of liked it covered up better, I didn't like it folded. So, you know, those are options. Over here, I have a few bee things. I don't have as many as I thought I did because, you know, I'm trying to reduce down to what I will just use. This was a picture one of you sent me recently, and a painting or like watercolor that you did. Okay, I have a few little bee things here. These extra ones that were on the hanger. Okay, so there you go. Little mini makeover. No, this is this one here. I forgot to say, this is a baby version of Oh My Stars. So basically, like I've said for a while, I need a bit more in the yellow family that reads more yellow. So this one reads more pink. That one still reads more pink. This guy actually has tons of yellow, so it reads yellow. And of course I have lemon chiffon, and I have the pineapple quilt, and those are two big quilts. So I need to think about making a few more smaller, like maybe these two pieces and then a different runner, or just, yeah. So there we go, a little mini makeover. I hope you do that in your home. Switch out the bunnies, do something a little bit springy. And to continue the bee theme, this was a gift from our friend Peggers, who sent me this banner already made. Isn't that adorable? Yes, so that's on the front door now. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed sharing how I was thinking through things. The end result is I need more things with yellow in it, and my kit for this just came. So I hope a bunch of you got this kit when you were, you know, comes with the layer cake too. I hope you got that kit while it had my exclusive discount from the Fat Quarter Shop. I'm even thinking maybe of doing in front of the quilt storage, maybe doing this a little bit smaller, or doing them just in yellow, doing a set of yellow with maybe a wide border so I don't have to do so many, maybe a 3x4. I don't know. I'm thinking through that. The size of this is 57 by 77 of this guy. So cute, right? Or just, I mean, I don't even have to do the alternate. I could just do the cone flowers and make something. But I need, you could see, I need a few more things in the yellow range, like a table runner that's more yellow, or yellow and pink, table topper. This is where I have this one or two colors where I don't have all the pieces that I'd really like to have. It was just kind of interesting for me. You know, will I document that and make myself a list and be sure that I make something in those? We'll see. Probably next time I go to do it, would be a year from now, I'll be like, I need some more of those colors. Such is the life of a quilt maker, right? All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone on Tackle It Tuesday. Be sure you download your calendar. I'll see you online.